Hello, my name's Angela Mee. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm starting with a bit of a giggle because I've just been doing some practice videos and I sound terrible. I sound like I talk through my nose. I sound really strange and I sound like a proper stokey, which of course I am and I'm very proud to be, but it's all just a little bit weird. I've not done this before. Okay, so most of you know me who are going to be watching this video, but for those of you that don't know me, I am going to just say a tiny bit about myself because we're going to pop this onto YouTube. And share it with the nation. So my name is Angela Mee. I'm a hairdresser. I've been hairdressing for nearly 40 years, and for most of that time I've had a salon on Maybank High Street, Newcastle under Lyme. There are 10 of us on our team, 2 other team members as well as me. One is my husband, one is my son. So we're a family business, and we just really happy team of people. I'm sure those of you that already visit the salon know that. We specialise in cutting and colouring. Colouring I absolutely adore, and cutting I've been doing since I was 12 and a half, so I just love it. I never thought I'd be sharing it with anybody but a classroom full of students. I used to teach at college and I used to love that bit where I got all the students in front of me and we were taking everything right back to basics and really seeing people develop and grow. I loved that. I never thought I'd be doing it for everybody. It's a little bit crazy, but obviously we're not in the salon at the moment and you're at home. I think most of you are probably getting a little bit fed up with your hair, and I thought, well, rather than you watch other people's YouTube videos, I'll tell you a few hints and tips how to do things myself. Now if I keep looking down, it's because my notes are in front of me here and I've not done this before, and you have to bear with me a little bit if you don't mind, please. So today we're going to talk about fringes. So before to prepare myself really for this video, I've shampooed and conditioned my hair first. I would suggest that you do the same. I thought very hard about whether I should advise you to cut your fringes dry or wet. The reason I decided on wet was because we do them wet in the salon or a little bit damp. There's just, and you get a more precise cut with that, so that'll make up for the fact that obviously for some of you you've never ever done this before, but you've just got to be aware that hair when it's wet is a little bit elastic, so it's a little bit stretchy, so you'll find that whatever you trim off your hair and you think, oh yeah, that looks really good, that's nice, that is, then you'll dry it and it'll shoot up, as we call it in the trade, more than you thought it was going to. Always. Even as hairdressers, we realise that's going to happen. So the professional side of us make sure we don't take as much off because we know that's going to happen. But because you don't know that's going to happen, I'm sharing that little bit of knowledge with you. So shampoo your hair first, please, and condition it. Get it into the very best condition that you possibly can before you start using scissors anywhere near it. So my hair, the top half of my hair to about here is actually my own colour. I know, I'm very lucky. I've always been asked what colour I put on my hair, but I don't. It's my own colour. But this section here, and in this light you can actually see a slightly purpley hue to it. In the not natural daylight, it looks all the same. But what I've done is I've shampooed my hair with something called Blonde Angel Wash by Kevin Murphy, and I've used Blonde Angel, which is a conditioning rinse afterwards, because last year I decided I was going to colour my hair red. I know, a lot of you saw it and whatever, but I got roots quite quickly, so I decided no, I wished I hadn't done it, so I had to viciously bleach this area, which I would never advise anyone to do really, because it has not done it the world of good, and it's only with things like my Kevin Murphy products that it's able to stay looking as good as it actually does. But this half of my hair can go quite yellow if I don't tone it. So rather than using it really strong intensive toners all the time, I've opted to use the Kevin Murphy shampoo with a slight hint of purple, but it isn't like a lot of purple shampoos which can be very harsh and very purple. It's just a little teeny bit purple, so it just does the toning job without changing the colour too much. So when we talk about fringes as a hairdresser, when we talk about any cuts in fact, we always talk about the outside edge of the cut, the inside edge of the cut. Well, what does that mean? And if I break that down into just fringes, because that's all we're going to cut today. So if I break that down, the outside edge of your fringe is the edge that takes it from the beginning to the end. And it's the journey in between. That is your outside edge. Your inside edge is if you get a comb and you pick up a little bit of hair and you pull your fringe down, but you know that this bit belongs in your fringe because it was there a minute ago, okay? And if this piece of hair is the same length as the original shape we just talked about, then you're going to probably have a blunt, well, you will have a blunt haircut. If that's shorter, then the likelihood is that you're going to have a bit of a choppy haircut or a choppy fringe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my hair 3 times today for you. I'm going to first of all trim the shape that I have. I'm going to then cut in a choppy look. And then because I personally don't like a choppy look on myself because my hair's so fine and it looks thicker when it's straight, I'm then going to cut it even shorter. And I'm going to show you a little hack with something you might have at home if you're daring, but you have to be daring for that one. So the outside edge of mine is as you can see, is slightly curved. Okay. The outside edge of some people's, as I say, is completely square. So the journey from the middle to the edge, this is as high up as the middle. Where on mine, if you look at it, it's quite a bit lower. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to section our hair so that we don't, under any circumstances, cut the hair we don't want to. Now, to do this, if your hair's long enough, like me, you can just tuck it behind your ears, which is probably, well, it's the easiest option, I guess. What you can do if you don't have hair long enough to tuck behind your ears, if you're lucky enough to own one of these, which is a sectioning grip, you can clip the hair out of the way with a sectioning grip like that. Or if you don't have one of those, these are just a few things I've got hanging around. Oh, most people have got these in the house, especially if they've got little girls. My favourite thing, the clips I used to wear at school. Not these actual clips. I actually still wear these clips sometimes. But they're the clips that you press to hold in place. And they're quite good for keeping hair out of the way if you want to do some cutting. And then finally, if you've got anything, I've only got a teeny weeny little one. A teeny weeny little, can you see it? Let's get it up to the camera. One of those. You might have a teeny one or a big one. Again, that will just hold. Anything that holds the hair out. So you can't make mistakes because the hair isn't there to make mistakes with. Okay? So. Now, I know what some of you will be thinking, well, my shape isn't like that. I haven't got a bob. My hair's nothing like yours, Ange, at all. So you might think my hair's all shaped in here. Yeah, on my hair, if you like, on a bob, I've got the fringe that ends here at the edge of my eye, and then a drop into the bottom. Okay? With some of you, that might be all shaped in. You might wear it back away from your face, but when you cut it, we probably pulled it forward and it'd be all shaped in. Now, I don't really want you to cut those sides, but I will show you a little hack how you can just blend the edge of your fringe if you have that sort of haircut. Okay, so we're going to start to cut the fringe then. Okay, oh, by the way, if you have no fringe at all, I'm afraid I'm not going to tell you how to cut hair full stop today, because that's far too scary, and I'm really hoping that we're back at work before that becomes a problem. Or if you don't have a fringe at all, maybe it might be that you fancy cutting one in. Bit daring, but you might be feeling like that today. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my hair, comb my hair down so you can see the basic shape of it. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is I'm going to just trim. Now I'm going to cut my fringe all in one, and the reason for that is my hair is so fine that if I do it in sections, oh, it'll take forever and you won't see the way that I'm cutting it in the shape that I'm producing. But if your hair's very thick, you might want to take a bit away and do your bit there that you're pulling down that I'm showing you there. That might be as thick as my whole fringe, you know, lucky you if it is. But if it is, then clip that little piece out of the way, like you have the sides. Do a little bit at a time. You know, there's no rush with this. Don't be rushing, don't be doing it when you've got people pestering you or you're in the middle of cooking the tea or whatever. Take time out for yourself and think about what you're going to do with this, and you'll get a much better result. So I'm actually using my phone as a mirror, and as you know, most of you know, I usually wear glasses, so this is a bit silly really probably to do it this way, but it's the only way I could do it because I haven't got a professional photographer Tabby with me today, who I usually have to help me in the salon. It's just me. So here we go, this is what we're going to do. I always start in the centre. And I always, this hair here, I'm holding in between two fingers like that. And the reason I do that on a fringe, I mean, some people would put a fringe and they'd start to cut like that, but goodness me, very often you can catch your eyebrows, you can catch your eyelashes. It's just not a good idea at all. So, but when you're doing this holding between your fingers thing, try and have your fingers as close, actually touching your forehead if you can, please, because if you do that you won't get any layers in it really. It'll keep it nice and sharp if you want a sharp fringe. So here we go. So a really important thing, scissors. Now obviously I've got really special scissors and a hairdresser's comb. If you can get a comb, first of all, actually, that's got the teeth quite close together, the closer together you can get them, and I don't mean knit combs, but the closer together that you can get teeth, you'll get a more precise haircut, so use that bit of the comb. So just do the best with what you've got. Scissors, please use the sharpest that you have in the house, because it makes such a difference. Now in the salon we never even touch each other's scissors, because we know they're like sacred to us. But one thing I will say to you is, if you are a dressmaker, I'm just learning to do dressmaking myself, so I'm dead into it, but if you are a dressmaker and you have a fantastic pair of sharp scissors, I suggest you don't use them on your hair, because hair is one of the most abrasive things on the planet, and it can actually ruin your scissors. So the sharpest that you've got that you don't mind about is probably the best thing. So okay, off we go. So we're going to get this centre section of the hair. We're not going to worry about these. I'm thinking of my hair almost in three. Okay, so I'm combing it as tight as I can get it from the root, because if I don't do that, then I'm going to have some bits that are longer and shorter that will fluff up. I'm going to hold it as close, get this finger here as near to me forehead as I can. I'm going to pull down, holding on tight, until I see how much I want to take off. Now I'm only just going to take that much, because bear in mind I'm doing 3 haircuts today, so I don't want to end up too short, although I am preparing to be quite short. So with that, using this part of your finger almost as a ruler, although it isn't straight, bear in mind, but your scissors are, you then cut. Now if you keep those fingers above very still, there's no way you can take off more than you want to. And watch this little bit of your finger as you get towards the end of the cut, because we don't want you to cut, hairdressers always cut the fingers there. We don't want you to do that. A bit of health and safety there. So that's my centre section done, and it hasn't taken many minutes, as you can see, because my hair is so fine. Then I'm going to look at this side section here. Pull this down, and I'm going to just take off that tiny corner. When I pulled that down, I made sure that I also had a little bit of the hair I'd already cut. And then you're going to get a nice sort of gentle slope from one end to the other. Okay. I'm going through to the other side. I'm going to just do exactly the same. Now, most of you probably feel like you haven't been to the salon for 100 years, but in actual fact, we've been closed, is it 5 or 6 weeks? So the majority of you, I'm hoping, will still have a little bit of shape left in your fringe, a sort of a line that you can actually follow. So there, I'm not going to go too crazy with it, because like I say, I'm aware of what's it, but that is, if you like, your first shape. So it's slightly shorter there, and it gets slightly longer there, and that's just about starting to show my eyebrows. I'm hoping it's level, because as I say, I haven't got my glasses on. I'm doing it a bit by feel. I think there's a tiny bit more needs to come from there, but don't be too tempted to think, oh yeah, let's have a little bit more, let's have a little bit more. Don't be too tempted. Okay, I'm aware of time on the video, so I'm gonna keep going. So the next thing is, if you want your hair to be choppy, your fringe to be choppy, you can trim that first bit first if you like, then you lift it up, okay? You let, this is the big one, you need to see hair all the way across underneath, so you're going to end up with thin temples. And this hair here, you're just going to either cut if you want to, but I advise that you, what we call, chip into it. So you've seen us do it in the salon. We're not cutting blunt across, chop, 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 chop like that. We're cutting into it, chip, 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 chip. So just to remove, gosh, this is harder than I thought it should be. And it doesn't matter really. You've got to take a little bit off for it to show. Because obviously my hair's not. Now see, when I've just let it go, there are some pieces that are shorter than the rest now. But because I've left that original fringe in place, it doesn't make my fringe any shorter. Just a little bit thinner. And that's good if you've got layered hair. That's a good thing to do. Don't be like cutting the whole hair, but you know, shampoo it, comb it, do a little bit of shaping at the front like I have, and lift up and just cut that little bit behind. Doesn't matter if it blends into the rest. Let us do that when you come back to us. But just for now, just that will keep the edge very soft. Okay? And then finally, because I've now got a layered fringe which I don't want, now, I'm only going to do this because my hair is going to be, my fringe is going to be short. I wouldn't do this if you weren't. Some of you have a pair of these at home if your husbands have been buying them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now cut my hair, cut my fringe with these. I'm not saying that you do this, this is just a little hack, and you've got to have a very short fringe because you don't be taking your eyebrows off. Okay, so turn them on, no grade, it's closed up so the two blades are flat against each other, and I'll have to come a bit closer to see this one. So this is my bad eye, so you'll have to bear with me if I have to do a bit of adjusting, which I think I am going to have to, yeah. If you wear glasses, it probably helps if you use them. I'm just taking those ends off, those corners off with my scissors, because I'm frightened of cutting the sides off my hair. There you go, your fringe. Yeah, your fringe. Thank you for joining me. I'm Angela Mee, and this is my kitchen. Bye.